Hi, praise be to God. This message is about trusting God. I'm going to be in the book of Psalm chapter 73 and I'll be reading from the NIV version. The writer of this chapter starts off by saying in verse 1 that surely God is good to Israel, to those who are pure in heart. So God is good to those who are pure in heart, those who love Him and who put Him first. Then he goes on to say in verse 2 and 3 that, but as for me, my feet had almost slipped. I had nearly lost my foothold, for I envied the arrogant when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. So this person had a pure heart, but when he saw the prosperity of the wicked, he envied them. So in verse 4 to 12, he goes on to explain how the wicked were living, all the wicked things they were doing, how they kept prospering, how they didn't have the fear of God in their hearts. And then in verse 13 to 14, he says, surely in vain I have kept my heart pure, and have washed my hands in innocence. All day long I have been afflicted, and every morning brings new punishments. He is comparing his life to the wicked. He done all these virtuous things and lived a godly life, and all he gets is suffering. Then verse 15 to 16, the word says that, if I had spoken out like that, I would have betrayed your children. When I tried to understand all this, it troubled me deeply. So notice that he did not speak it out, but tried to understand it in his mind. And the more he tried to understand it, the deeper it troubled him. Then in verse 17 he says that, till I entered the sanctuary of God, then I understood their final destiny. So it was through God's revelation that he understood their final destiny. In verse 18 to 20, this is the revelation that he received about the wicked. Verse 18 to 20 says that, surely you place them on a slippery ground, you cast them down to ruin. How suddenly are they destroyed, completely swept away by terrors. They are like a dream when one awakes. When you arise, Lord, you will despise them as fantasies. In verse 21 to 22 he says that, when my heart was grieved and my spirit embittered, I was senseless and ignorant. I was a brute beast before you. So notice that he did not act so well before the Lord when he was going through these afflictions. But verse 23 says that, yet I'm always with you. You hold me by my right hand. Verse 24 goes on and says that, you guide me with your counsel, and afterward you will take me into your glory. And then verse 25 to 26 says that, whom have I in heaven but you, and earth has nothing I desire besides you. My flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever. Then verse 27 to 28 says that, those who are far from you will perish. You destroy all those who are unfaithful to you. But as for me, it is good to be near God. I have made the sovereign God my refuge. I will tell of all your deeds.